if the husband comes to the wife and says, honey, I have this huge vision, it's scary because what if she doesn't like it? What if she doesn't believe in it?
What if I can't make it
What
happen?
if I can't make it happen? What if it's the wrong decision? It's a scary thing. I get it. Visions are scary because nobody knows if it's going to happen. But again, it's that's marriage though. That's the beauty of it. As soon as you start having these conversations and you can be vulnerable enough to say, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is where we're going to even be in life. But what you realize as a married couple is it doesn't matter. The journey is the fun part.
Welcome back to another episode of the Married with Mujica's podcast. We are Richard and Hailey Mujica. We are so glad that you're here. We have been married for 12 years. We have 4 kids. We run a home-based business and we homeschool, and we're in the very beginning stages of a homestead and lots of other fun home things.
All the fun home things.
And our slogan here on this show is building a marriage you love coming home to.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
That is our desire for all of you.
That is
and
right.
Merry Christmas.
And Merry Christmas. That's
Today
crazy.
is the Christmas episode. I cannot believe it. So
that's wild.
Whether you're in the kitchen cooking with your family or you're in the car driving from one in-law's house to the next one.
You're listening to the right podcast.
Yes, we're glad you're here. We hope you have a very Merry Christmas.
Yes.
And I typically don't do this because I like to take one holiday at a time, but we're going to look forward because you only have a week to New Year's. So Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
Bam.
So that's kind of what our podcast is going to be about today, is really looking forward to the new year.
Yes.
But before we get to that, last week on the podcast, we talked about the victim mentality.
The victim mentality.
And how it will not only ruin your marriage, it'll ruin your life.
Yes.
And I felt
Powerful.
like that episode, it was a powerful one because I really felt like that episode, like we talked about in the episode, I really feel like that was throwing people the rope that they could either hang themselves or save themselves with. Like that episode was the rope.
Yeah. And it sounds so violent when you say that, but it's a good depiction. It drives home the point.
It drives home the point because if you find yourself like, okay, I think I do kind of do that. I think I have that mentality. You either can pull yourself out of it or you could just continue in it. Those are kind of your 2 choices.
Yeah, there's only 1 or 2 choices.
1 or 2.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you have any other thoughts on that episode?
No other thoughts besides that. I do think it's an epidemic in our current society is the victim mentality.
Yes.
And it is my hope that, you know what? Actually, I wonder if anybody did the challenge.
Oh, yeah. Which was
to
change every negative thought into a positive thought?
Take full responsibility for every outcome for 7 days. 100% responsibility,
Okay.
even expecting 0 in return.
Yes, that's right.
And seeing how it goes. I wonder who took the challenge. Maybe tag us or something. Let us know. Hey, man, did you take the challenge and did it work? Did you feel anything different?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one. Good one. And aside from that, anything else to report before we get into it?
It's Christmas, man. You got to do the ho, ho, ho and the presents. And I don't know. I think it's an exciting time. So
It is. It's the best.
yeah, I'm fired up for that. And this episode, I think, is going to be a banger because as we move into the New Year's, I think it's very needed in a lot of marriages, and especially ours too.
Yeah. All marriages.
All marriages, yeah.
Okay. So what we're talking about today is looking forward and planning and creating a goal as a couple for your marriage, for your life, for your family, for where you're going. And I think that that's a step that a lot of marriages miss. And so, people will do it on their own.
Yeah.
But when you're married, it's really, really important to go the same direction together. And it's even more powerful and you're more productive if you're working towards the same goal together.
So it's yeah.
So I think it's really important to take the time to have that conversation and talk about it and see what those goals are. So that's what we're talking about today.
That's going to be a good one.
It's going to
I
be
hope
a good
people
one.
are thinking about it. You should be thinking about it. Hey, do you know something crazy? Do you know the average time that it takes for somebody to, everybody makes New Year's resolutions. And do you know the average time it takes for somebody to fall off the wagon?
Oh, I bet it's like 2-3 weeks.
It's like days.
Is it days?
It's like days.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a day.
Oh my God.
No, but it really is. It's literally days. And so The reason why I say that is because having, I don't think the goal is necessarily what makes something unique and special. Everybody's got the same goals, right? We all want a better marriage. We all want more money. We all want more peace. We all want more passion. We all want the same things. But as we talk about this episode, in order to not fall off, you also have to remember that you have to become the type of person that's going to do the things that you say that you're going to do.
Yes, I was going to say, why that is and why New Year's resolutions fall off so fast.
Of course.
You know why. It's because you can't change behavior without changing identity.
Yes.
Changing your behavior is very temporary.
Yeah.
And if you think, I'm not going to yell at my kids anymore, it's like, okay, until the next time they do something that makes you mad and then you're yelling again.
Yes.
But you have to become the type of person that doesn't yell at their kids.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I mean? And like in marriage, you have to decide not, we're going to treat each other nicely. It's like, no, we're the type of couple that people look at us and they think, wow, they are so respectful to each other.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of person you are, not the behavior you're emulating.
Not the behavior you're emulating. Yeah.
And I think if you can do that, your New Year's resolutions will stick. So instead of saying, I am going to go to the gym, which you're going to do for a few days and then fall off.
Everybody says that.
You have to decide, I am a fit person. I am a person who makes decisions with my fitness in mind.
Yeah.
And then it'll stick.
And you got to claim that over your life.
You have to claim it. And it's not
an I am statement, 100%.
Yeah. So.
Well, it's like, I'll give you a practical example. If you listen to people, no, I'm not condemning smokers, but if you listen to how smokers talk, they say, I am a smoker, right? I don't smoke. Why don't I smoke? Because I am not a smoker.
Yeah.
Right. And so that same line of logic works for all of our goals. And I'll tell you a funny story. I had a buddy that I used to go to the gym with, and I still do to this day. And for the longest time, his identity was, I'm a healthy person. That's what he used to say. But he was always overweight. He always struggled with getting to the gym and being fit, even though he was a healthy person, because he equated health to, eating organic butter.
Right.
And I'm going to get rid of all the preservatives. But he was still overeating. He was just eating what he called healthier stuff, right? And so one day I had the conversation with him. I said, hey, so-and-so, I said, dude, I've never looked at myself as a healthy person. I've always looked at myself as a fit person. And there's a big distinction there. And I remember having this conversation with him, and he's like, dude, that makes a lot of sense. He's like, I've never looked at myself as a fit person. I've just said healthy. And to this day, you know who I'm talking about.
I do, and he's in great shape.
He's
now,
in great
which
shape.
Is so funny.
He's going to the gym.
This guy, I love him, but he was never in good shape. Like he could not get himself to a place where he was in good shape until that conversation.
Until he changed his identity. And now he's like, dude, Rich, I have to go to the gym. Like, this is who I am. There's no way I'm not going to go. And, for a lot of people listening to this might kind of blow your mind because you're thinking, well, dude, how does this really work? But it's really, it's not easy, but it's simple. And it's like, I did this, I've done this before. I haven't done it in a while, but I remember I took out a piece of paper and I wrote down all the I am statements that I believed about myself. I just want to know, like, what do I believe, right? And I would put like, I am this, I am that. And then I looked at the sheet of paper and I'm like, well, does this match up to who I want to be? And I think it's a good practice.
Yeah, for
because
sure.
You're going to naturally say the things that you are. And guess what? You're going to realize, oh my gosh, all my actions match who I say I am. And so as we go into the new year, I just want to preface it. I think this is a good way to think about it as you're going into it.
And I think another really good way to do that was like also get out a piece of paper and write out all the things that you want to be.
Yes.
And look at do my behaviors reflect that or not? Like, are my behaviors getting me to that goal or are they taking me away from it? And then figure out how you can claim them instead of saying, I want to be that one day. How do you claim it as who you are now?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Man, that's a magic button. If
That's
there's ever
the
been a
magic
magic button in life, that 100% is it.
Yes. So what does that look like in marriage? Well, okay. I'm going to answer my own question and then I'll have you answer it.
You're so smart.
Wow, Hailey.
Wow. I am the one that is qualified to answer this one.
Well,
Yeah,
yes.
go ahead.
Because you were talking about the gym.
Yeah.
And I think in marriage, you can kind of you can see your spouse kind of claim these things and you can resist them and kind of fight against them and like, oh my gosh, you're going to the gym again. Like, can't you just stay home? Can't you just hang out with us? Like, why do you have to take some? Or just jump on board and like, hey, you want to go to the gym? I'm going to the gym with you. Like, you want to be a fit person? I'm going to be a fit person with you. You want to go be a businessman? Like, I'm going to support that as much as I can. Like, jump on board to with your spouse's I am statements and with their vision, and don't fight against them.
Yeah.
Like, support them as much as you can. I think that's a good way to support your marriage in that.
So your point is you need to support your spouse in
their I am statements.
Statements. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. 100%.
How else would you do that in marriage? What does that look like in marriage?
What? Hit me with it.
Like building those I am statements. Like, what does that look like in marriage?
What does that look like?
Yes, we talked about it in life as far as like fitness or whatever, but what does it look like in marriage specifically?
Well, I mean, it's the same concept. It's just that you're doing it not individually, you're doing it as a team.
Okay. So
for example, as we go into the new year, I think something that's important to remember is that no marriage you don't unintentionally build a strong marriage.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay, drop the mic on that one.
Yeah. It's not like you're going to wake up and say, oh my gosh, we never talked about our vision in life, and somehow we ended up in a great place that we always wanted to be. Like, said nobody. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? And so the Bible has a very great verse on this. And it talks about how a man with no vision will perish. And I think I'd like to replace the word with a marriage with no vision would perish. Mm-hmm. And it's not complicated, but it's something that no marriages do, because what we're taught in school and what we're taught in society is like, okay, when should you have a goal and a vision? Well, if you're starting a business, you should definitely have one, right? Nobody says, oh, if you're starting a marriage, what's your goal? What's your vision? Nobody says that.
Nobody asks that, yeah.
Like, nobody. Right. But when you talk about your schoolwork, when you talk about your job, when you talk about your sports, everybody talks in that language. Like, you're dumb if you don't have a goal. It's like, what do you mean you don't have a goal? If you say you don't have a goal in marriage, everybody's like, well, yeah, me either. You know what I'm saying? So it's so countercultural to have a vision for your marriage. And it's very simple, just like anything else. If I'm running a business, what am I going to do? I'm going to say, okay, this quarter, I want to accomplish this. It's the same in marriage. It's like, okay, what do you guys want to accomplish this quarter together, right? What does that look like as a team? Do you guys want to set aside some money together? Do you guys want to get out of debt? What does that look like? Because here's something that is highly encouraged. You don't wait to decide. It's called presiding, right? When I already have a decision for where my money's going to go, when I get the money, I've already decided. Right? But what most marriages do when they get money, they have no idea where the money's going to go. So then they get the money. They're like, where should the money go? That's a bad question when you get money. You should already have it decided. So your year coming up, in my ideal world, is it's already decided. Mm-hmm. You're like, every extra ounce of money we get is going here. Every extra ounce of time that we have, we're going to use it here. Every ounce of time that we have with the kids, this is how we're going to do it, right?
Which I think in a marriage, it's so important to sit down and have those conversations, because as a husband, as a man, you might have a vision for where the money should go, and the wife might have a vision. But if they don't talk about it and they have different visions, they're competing with each other instead of supporting each other.
Oh man, you said it, girl, 100%. Mm-hmm. And so the cool thing now is, and we just talked about this today on a story on you talked about it. But as soon as you have a shared vision for your marriage, you talked about the leadership role with men, and maybe you can say it much better than I can. But if you're a woman right now and you're just like, man, I wish my husband would step up and lead in XYZ, well, this is a great first step, because a lot of times leadership is not saying a command, right? That's not leadership. Leadership is not saying we do X. Leadership is a large part of it is just clarity. And the reason why most women don't feel led is because there's no clarity in the marriage. Mm-hmm. They have no idea where they're going. They have no idea why they're married. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the next thing? Like, why are we doing this? Like, what are we doing it for? Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying? Are we just going to end up and I don't like my job. My husband doesn't like his job, but we're still doing it. And are we just going to live this way forever? Like, so as soon as you start talking about this and having a shared vision, all of a sudden you introduce a concept called leadership. And now a woman, especially because I believe all women want to be led by their husbands, whether they say it or not, they do. And now we can introduce the leadership conversation.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
I also know that women want leadership and they want their husbands to lead,
Yeah.
but they also need to have confidence that he is leading with a purpose and with direction. They're not going to follow a directionless leader.
That's right.
And that's when you get the women that step up in that super masculine energy and feel like they have to lead because their husband's not.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And if men step up and really lead well, women almost always will step back and follow.
Yes.
But the man has to do it well,
You have to do it well.
which
And-
means you have to do it with intention. You have to have a purpose.
Yes. And the big one is you have to do it with conviction. You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be a large part of conviction because look, anytime you establish a vision for your life, just by simply saying this is a vision, what does that mean? It means we do not have it yet. So it's very hard to believe that you're going to have something that you do not have yet. That takes an incredible amount of faith, right? And you have the gift of faith. You can see things that most people can't. So that's one of your spiritual gifts. A lot of people don't have that spiritual gift. And if you don't have it, how do you wake up every day saying, oh my gosh, I know things are tough, but this is where we're going? The way that you do that is by discussing it and keeping it forefront in your marriage, which is why, not another plug, but Spark Check-In is why, we do stuff like this. Because with Spark, you're now talking about it every week. It's on top of mind. It's like, oh my gosh, we just had this horrible thing happen. But wait a minute. No, we're doing this because we want to get here. And this is where we're going. And so why was I saying that? I was to bring it home. I'm trying to bring it home. With that being said, I lost my train of thought.
Ah, shoot,
you need
I
to
hate
help
when
me.
that happens.
Shoot.
I don't know where you're going.
Bring me home.
Okay.
I felt like I was going so good too.
You were going really good. But you were talking about the leadership.
Yes.
And that men need to lead with conviction.
Yes. Okay. So to bring it home, it's the process of marriage. And I think a strong marriage starts with a shared vision and you have to discuss it. And it can't be just once like this. Like we want to get the ball rolling on this episode with you guys, but it's not a one and done thing.
It's a continuous conversation.
It's a continuous conversation. And the reason why I think me and Hailey want to bring it up so importantly in marriage is because nobody talks about it. It's only talked around business settings, sports settings, and
very personal.
and very personal settings. But no. This is a biblical marriage-based thing that all marriages should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just for the sake of example, what would you say our goal and vision is moving into 2026 for our marriage? What are some examples of what that vision or goal could look like for a couple?
So, well, I mean, to get personal, one thing that you and I believe in is we don't like debt, right? So now we just bought this new house. It's expensive. We didn't pay off the house. Like that's kind of one of our rules is like we want to pay stuff off, but we didn't do it. And so, for example, like we already pre-sided. We've talked about this multiple times. Like we already know where our money's going to go next year. It's already decided. Any extra is going here, right? And so, I mean, that's an example of kind of one area, right? Another area is kind of what we're doing now with like Spark. I mean, we started this podcast and we kind of talked about the vision of it slightly, but you and I had a heart for marriage. And we said, look, if there's one thing that we want to bring to the world as a united couple is we want to see marriages thrive. And our slogan is build a marriage that you love coming home to. And so we together, even though we are busy, we have kids, we have business, we have this, we thought, hey, as a united couple, this is part of our vision in life. And so we started it. And we didn't know we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We just started talking about how we do marriage, right? And a lot of people have been fascinated about how we do marriage because they see things that maybe they wish that they had or whatever it might be. So we said, hey, I think we can bring a lot of value to this. And then that's also how Spark, came about. It's like, well, how can we really help couples? And that's like another vision thing. It's like, well, as we're talking about it, discussing it, it's like, dude, this is going to help the vision of this podcast, right? And so, but these are just minor things, but I think not minor, but these are just examples of how you and I like to communicate around where are we going and what's the next thing, where I think a lot of marriages, they have a next thing. The wife has something that she wants. the husband has something that they want. But the problem is they either don't discuss it because they're a little afraid to. Like, again, if the husband comes to the wife and says, honey, I have this huge vision. It's scary because what if she doesn't like it? What if she doesn't believe in it?
What if I can't make it
What
happen?
if I can't make it happen? What if it's the wrong decision? Like, it's a scary thing. I get it. Visions are scary because nobody knows if it's going to happen. But again, it's like, that's marriage though. Like, that's the beauty of it. Like, as soon as you start having these conversations and you can be vulnerable enough to say, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is where we're going to even be in life. But what you realize as a married couple is it doesn't matter. The journey is the fun part, right? You chase these wild goals and these wild dreams and these wild visions, not with the expectation of actually doing it, but you're in pursuit of it. And the pursuit of it is what brings excitement. It's because things are going to suck. Not every vision is going to get hit. Not every goal you establish together but you're doing it together.
Yeah.
And you know why you're doing it. And that's the fun part. Like, at the end of the day, nobody cares how much money you have in your bank account when you die. Nobody cares of the goals and the dreams that you didn't hit. The only person that it matters to is you. You know that, what? Our marriage, we did what we were a unit and we went for it. And whatever that looks like, I think that's a good marriage. It's not the final outcome.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I know I did a lot of talking.
No, I would also really encourage couples to sit down and, like we talked about, writing your I am statements or what you want your I am statements to be over your own life. Do that in your marriage too. Like, how do you want the world to perceive your marriage? Okay, there are a couple who doesn't talk bad about each other. When they're with the guys, when they're with the girls, they don't do that. They're a marriage that they show a lot of PDA. When you with them, you're going to see affection. They're a marriage that they disagree really respectfully, right? So write down what you want your marriage to look like, and then you have to make the decisions for your behavior to reflect those decisions, which that's a daily pursuit. But you have to sit down and actually decide, what do we want that to be? What do we want to show our children marriages? What do we want? What example do we want to set for our nieces and nephews that are watching us? What do we want our marriage to be? What do we want people to say about our marriage? What do we want our reputation in our marriage to be? Actually have a conscious decision of what those things are. What are the important things to you? I think you have to do that.
Yeah, you do. And John Maxwell has a good quote. He says, everything good in life is uphill. And, at the end of the day, there might be some marriages thinking, well, that's a lot of work. And that's a lot to kind of do and X, Y, Z. But at the end of the day, I love this quote. It says, you have to choose your hard. And it's like, look, not having a goal and not knowing where you're going is hard. Establishing a goal and going after a crazy goal is hard. Just going through the motions in life is hard. Having a great marriage is hard. Having a horrible marriage is hard. At the end of the day, you choose the hard. It's all hard. Everything's hard.
Well, you said something yesterday. I don't remember what the context was. Maybe you'll remember.
Yeah.
But you were saying something to somebody about the time's going to pass anyways. 20 years is going to pass. Do you want to be 20 years down the road with a thriving marriage because you put the time and effort into it to have that? Or do you want to be 20 years down the road, 3 times divorced, your kids don't talk to you anymore because you couldn't get your crap together?
Yeah.
The time's going to pass either way. So what do you want to spend that time? What do you want that to look like after?
Yes.
What was the context of that conversation? Do you remember saying that to someone? The time's going to pass anyway?
Yeah, the time's going to pass anyway.
I thought that was a really insightful comment, but I can't remember what the context of it was.
I can't remember what the heck we were doing.
I can't either.
I'm trying to find. Okay, let me give you some lies. Some cultural lies about marriage in the future, okay? Lie number 1. If it's meant to be, it'll just happen. Thoughts?
Let
me put it another way.
Okay, put it a different way for me.
Look, just to make it hit home. If our marriage is meant to be happy, it'll just happen.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Right? It's a ridiculous statement.
That's a ridiculous statement.
And that's what that statement's saying. If it's meant to be, if we're meant to have a great marriage, it'll just happen.
Because your marriage is not meant to be anything. Your marriage will be what you make it.
Exactly.
It's
yeah.
It's like, I'm going to put all the ingredients for dinner on the table. It's meant to be lasagna. It will be. It's like, no, you're going to have to make the freaking lasagna. You're going to have to make it.
Yes. Let me give you the truth. Everything that lasts is built on purpose. There's no accidental great marriages. Never will happen. Not in the history of life.
Will not happen.
You have to do it on purpose. So that's a lie that a lot of people you might just think that. Like some people literally think that. Like our marriage was just going to be great. Like
If I'm meant to be rich, I will be.
Yeah, stuff like that. It's like, no,
Nope.
dude. No. That doesn't work. It's a lie. Lie number 2. Planning kills romance.
Ooh. See, I'm not a super spontaneous person in general, so I don't really relate to that. I love a good plan. To me, that's so romantic.
Does that kill our romance?
No.
Yeah.
Or like, to me, that's half the fun is like, if in the middle of the day, I can ask you like, hey, are you going to be up for sex tonight? It's like, okay, we're planning it, but now I'm looking forward to it all day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then,
I know exactly what you
and
mean.
then we're like both in the headspace to enjoy it later instead of like, if you just wait for it to be spontaneous and you get in bed and you're like, oh my gosh, I am so tired. I'm going to bed. That's what spontaneity does.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to plan things.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I totally disagree with that. But my bench just isn't that way.
So right here underneath it says truth. The truth bomb is direction creates safety and safety fuels intimacy.
Safety. I love that word.
Lie number 3. Vision is for entrepreneurs, not families. We just talked about this.
Yeah, of course I disagree with that.
Yeah. So, I mean, by the way, families drift a lot faster than businesses. Like at the end of the day, business is to generate money. Your family, your marriage is the thing. Businesses can come and go. You can start another one. You can do this. Your marriage is forever. So vision is not just for entrepreneurs. In fact, this is why we're doing this episode, because I'm tired of people not bringing it up in marriage. That is the one thing. Having a vision for our marriage is the one thing that has been really a game changer for us.
Yeah.
That has taken us to a whole nother level because we were able to dream something that actually did come true, but we never would have actually had the opportunity to do it.
Even bigger than we even could have imagined.
We could have imagined. Yeah. We didn't even dream.
Well, and those I am statements that we talked about earlier, it's also really important to speak those over your children because you can give your children an identity.
Oh, dude. Yes. Oh man. Talk on this one. This is huge.
And that's one of my favorite things to do with our kids. And that I always tell them there's like 4 things that Mujikas do.
Yeah. This is good.
Mujikas can do hard things. Mujikas can do scary things. Mujikas can do things that hurt. And Mujikas can do things they don't want to do.
That's good.
And I'll ask them if what do Mujikas do? Mujikas do hard things. And our little girl, she's 5. She'll tell me all 4. Mujikas do hard things, do scary things. We do things that hurt, and we do things we don't want to do. But that's
an identity.
That is an identity I'm giving them. And you are a Mujika, and that is what this means. And I think that's so powerful.
Yes. So our, we have Armor. He's 8. Riker.
No, he's 9.
Oh, he's 9. Jeez Louise, I can't even keep track. Riker's 10. And sometimes, because they're boys, Armor or Riker will be like, Riker's stupid. And then you're always very careful to counter. No. He did something stupid.
He did something stupid. And I won't argue with you there.
Yeah.
He probably really
did something stupid. But he is not stupid.
Yeah.
Right? Because one is an identity and one is a behavior.
Yes.
And we want to call it the behaviors.
Yes.
That's totally fine. But we never want to, for one second, let our son or daughter claim an identity that is not meant to be claimed.
Yes.
Like, I think as a parent, you have to be very cautious of that.
Yeah.
Like hyper aware of it.
Yeah. You have to be cautious about what you do to your kids, but you also have to be cautious with the identity you give yourself.
Oh, 100%. Yes.
Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid. Oh, I'm so annoying.
By the way, you used to believe this about yourself.
I did.
I had to change that identity.
You really did. Or the one that you hear a lot now, especially from like teenagers. Oh, I'm so awkward. You're not awkward. We're not good. No, we're not. No.
Yeah.
Don't claim that over yourself. Maybe you did something awkward. Maybe you were awkward in this situation. We're all awkward sometimes, but you are not awkward. I think we have to stop claiming these things over ourselves.
100%. And look, I can even see it right now. Even to this degree, you might be listening to this and had a failed marriage. Doesn't mean you are a failure. Okay. So there might be some identities out there saying, well, I'm a failure. And the reality is this, you had a failed marriage. And so that doesn't make you a failure. And like those distinctions, like to your point, happen all the time in life. You lose a game. I suck. No. At that game, you didn't win, but you don't suck. You know what I'm saying? And all these little things like you're pointing out, hopefully it just reminds people that your identity is something that you claim over yourself. A lot of the identities that we believe are not true, and you can change identities.
Yeah. And then it's something I'd encourage you to be careful with your spouse too. And we talk about this a lot, but when you have an issue that needs to be addressed, to address the issue and not the character of the person, and not, like your husband leaves his dirty clothes on the floor and it really makes you, now listen, that's kind of a cliche thing that people throw around. I'm going to talk to wives real quick. Stop letting that bother you so much. It'll take you 2 seconds to just pick the clothes up and put them in the hamper. The world tells you that that's supposed to really annoy you. So that's like the cliche I'm picking. Stop letting that kind of stuff annoy you. It is not worth it.
That's a good point.
But let's just use that cliche. And you feel like that's something that has to be addressed with your husband, which I promise you it's not, because it's not a character issue, but fine. You're going to address it with your husband. Talk about the clothes on the floor. Don't talk about his character and how he's so lazy and he can't do anything right and he can't pick up anything and he never does anything for you. Talk about this specific issue. And with most issues, because I feel like I picked a bad cliche, you don't need to think about them.
Amen, sister.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. What do you think it feels like to be in a marriage with no clear direction?
Oh, I would bet that feels awful.
What are some signs like of that?
I would think as a woman, now I can only think from a woman's perspective. I would think, I think it probably feels really scary. I would think it feels very aimless. And like, I think that's when you can get those marriages that just like, they talk about being ships in the night and they just kind of like, they don't communicate anymore and they're just going through the day to day. And I would think that's what that feels like. I would think you probably have a lot of resentment and you probably have women that are really taking on that masculine role because they're really starving for direction. So they're going to make it themselves because they feel like their husband's not providing it. That's what I would think that would feel like. Yeah.
And so you think it stems from the man's angle? Or like, okay, so like this is what I'm trying to figure out. Because we do believe that the man is the leader, right? So it is the vision coming from the man, ideally for the household. However, if that's not happening, how can a woman encourage that?
I think if that's not happening,
yeah,
you need to see as a wife, what do you need to do to encourage him to step into that role? So maybe you've been too critical and you've been too harsh and you've been too quick to shut him down. Maybe you haven't trusted him in the past. Maybe he's messed up. Maybe he's had some failures. All men have. Like as a wife, you can still come up and like support and encourage. I think if you have a man who's not willing to step in that role, he probably has a woman that hasn't really allowed it in a lot of ways.
He's not in a safe enough space, he feels like, to really to be that.
Yes. And I think that's a problem that can go both ways. But I think when both the man and the woman are living in their full healthy energy, that will happen. So either something's off. And you have to kind of put your finger on what that is.
Put your finger on the pulse.
Yeah. But, like we talked about in last week's episode, we're always going to take ownership and we're always going to see what we can do better. So I'm going to look at myself and say, okay, where have I made it hard for him to lead? Where have I made this harder for him? And try to fix that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then from the man's angle, I mean, it is a little scary. It is a little daunting to have like the vision portion.
And I just want people to understand real quick, because I think a lot of people can watch us and watch our dynamic and they see you and they think, oh my gosh, I wish my husband was like that. Like,
I'm sure.
I wish my husband was like Richard.
They're all thinking that.
As they should, because you're amazing. But I just want to encourage a lot of women with we have had many businesses that have failed. We have had many things that we've tried that didn't work out.
Didn't work.
But as a wife, I always just saw those as learning opportunities and stepping stones to something new. So if you just you hold him to, you said this business was going to work and this business didn't work. And so you're a failure. It's like, that's not how life works.
Gotta have some grace.
You got to have some grace, but you also have to allow the process to play out. There's things that they have to learn on the way in order before they're ready for the thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe that was just something he had to learn on the way to the thing, and just keep encouraging. Because Richard has not always, you've always been great, but the super successful businessman, leader, whatever, you haven't always been that. You had to work your way to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
so
it's
if your husband's
it's
not
a bumpy road. It's not linear.
It's a very bumpy road.
It's not linear.
And if your husband's not that yet, it's not because he can't ever be or because he doesn't have the potential. It's just that he's not yet. You can still encourage in that. I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think that's 100% right. And I'll never forget, I had a mentor tell me one time, he said, Rich, there's no true success without the rocky cutscene. And he's like, everybody wants it, but nobody wants to go through the rocky cutscene. And of course, the rocky cutscene is where he's beat down, he's bruised, he feel like he just can't go another step. I mean, what are we going to do here? We're at a crossroads. Are we going to go left or are we going to go right? And I think every marriage needs to understand that. And we all go through the rocky cutscene.
And I think wives have to understand in that rocky cutscene, you are not the one beating him up. The world will beat him up. The creditors are at the door. Yes. They're beating him up. He's beating himself up.
Yeah.
You're the one bandaging the cuts. You are not the one administering them.
Yeah. We just talked about this the other day, but life is hard enough on its own without any marital problems.
You throw marital problems on top of it, it holds a whole nother ball game. But you're so true. You're so true. The world will beat you guys up. You don't need to add to it.
Yes.
I guarantee you, man, there's demons in the closet for your husband. He's thinking about finances. He's thinking about career opportunities. He's thinking about vision and goals. He's thinking about his kids, legacy, inheritances. All these things are going through. And keep in mind, the woman might too. But I mean, finances is just primal. It's a scary. I mean, you have the 7 fears. What are the 7 fears? Or the 6 fears. The fear of death, the fear of
public speaking,
the fear of poverty, the fear of, I think there's 5, the fear of failure. That's number 4. And there's like one more, but the book goes on to say that one of the deepest ones besides the fear of death is poverty. He's like, that one just drives people. Like, you're always nervous about, scared. Like, can we survive? You know? So it's a real thing. Anyways.
Yeah.
With that being said, okay. So I do think, look, you need to have a vision for your 2026. I think some things that it can encompass is a spiritual vision, right? How do we want our faith to shape out by 2026? What does that look like? You can't say, oh, well, you know, God's the center of our marriage if you're not putting,
if that's not tangible.
If there's no priorities there, right? Like, that's not going to happen. You need a marriage vision. Like, how do we want our marriage to feel together? You need a family and culture vision, right? How do we want our family? Like you just said, write down, like, what do you want? What'd you say? Like, what do you want your kids to feel? And how do you want them
what
to be
identity do you want
What
them?
identity do you want them to be? You have the roles of your marriage, and then you have, you have a legacy question, which is, what kind of home do we want people to remember? And so I think it's important to remember that your vision doesn't need to be long. It just needs to be clear. And clarity is what we're all after. So,
and what is the quote you have? You'd be amazed what people overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in 5. Is that the quote?
They overestimate what they can do in a year and then underestimate what they can do in 5.
Yeah. So
it takes time.
But not as much time as you think. You can really move the needle in a year.
Yeah, and you can really, really, really move the needle in 5. And then shoot, if you go 10, you can be a whole nother planet.
Different place,
you might be living on Mars in 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've seen it. It's crazy because it's momentum. Takes a little while to get it, but once you do, oh my gosh, you become unstoppable.
Yeah. So you might be listening to this and thinking, okay, that's cool. That sounds great. That's nice, but I don't even know how to start. I don't even know how to talk to my husband about this. I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to set a goal. I don't know how to set a vision. How do they start?
Man, look, it's actually much simpler than you think. It's like you got to talk about it.
Which, okay, and I'm not just saying this because this is our thing. You need to get Spark check-in. I'm not just plugging it because it's our thing. I'm telling you, this practice was the turning point in our marriage.
It was.
This practice was it.
Yes.
It changed Richard's leadership, and therefore my willingness to submit to his leadership changed the game. It set a vision for our family that we never could have known or seen coming. It changed everything.
Yeah. And why? Because of questions that we had to answer.
Because of questions and conversations that we had to have.
That we had to have. It wasn't optional. It was just like, dude, this is what we do.
And it
never would have happened. Like, without it, it would have never happened.
Because life isn't going to make it happen. You have to stop and make it happen.
You have to.
You have to make the decision to make it happen. And the way that Spark is designed, the way that it's done, is it's not intimidating. It's not heavy. It's not a therapist couch conversation.
Yes.
It's very, very, very conversational. It's very organic. So just a quick overview of how it's done is the husband and wife do it independently. So you get to sit in your own little safe space by yourself, and every week it's going to ask you the same 5 questions. And so it's going to ask you about how is your communication? How are you doing? How are you feeling supported by me? How is our intimacy? How much lightness and fun are we having? And how connected are we? Those are the 5 questions it's going to ask you every week. And you're going to rate them on a scale from 1 to 5. And then there's a little comment section. So you can add a little comment about each thing, which I really encourage you to not leave the comment section empty.
The comment's important.
And then your spouse is going to do that on their own. Then you're both going to submit it to the app, and it's going to use AI to sift through all of your answers. It's going to give you an average of, okay, you guys are a 3.5 here, you're a 2.5 here, whatever. And it's going to tell you, okay, the green ones, you guys are perfectly aligned there. You guys are on the same page. Yellow is like, hey, we're off here. We need to talk here. And what's really cool is that it'll give you talking prompts. If you're like, man, our finances are okay, that's the other thing is once a month. So these 2 questions are not every week because they're a little heavy and we want to keep it light. But once a month, it's going to ask you about how you feel about your finances and how you feel about your goals and the direction for your family. And so it'll be yellow of like, okay, you're both not feeling good about your finances, but we don't know how to talk about it. It's going to give you a little talking prompt. And our goal and our vision really is that you'll grow out of having to use those because in a healthy relationship, you can communicate freely. But until you really feel comfortable communicating, it gives you talking prompts. And it'll tell you, hey, your wife really wants to pay off your debt, but the husband really wants to get a new sports car. You guys need to talk here. Like, how do we get on the same page? How do we get on the same vision? And the app's going to help you with that. So it's very non-intimidating.
Yeah.
Really helps you to actually sit down, talk about your goals, get on the same page.
Yeah.
I just can't recommend it enough.
Yeah. It's just a great thing because a lot of times you just feel so vulnerable saying it to your spouse's face. But when you're behind a screen and you can just kind of just put it in there, knowing that your spouse is going to see it, but you can say it in a very safe space.
Well, just this last week when we did ours, the question about support.
Yes.
This never would have come up in our normal life.
No,
I would have just swept it under the rug and kept going. But there was an instant that happened where I felt like you kind of threw me under the bus with something. And so when we did our Spark check-in, I was like, okay, I put in support, I was like, okay, I'm going to put a 3 here. And then in the comment section, I said, hey, when it came to this situation, I kind of felt like you throw me under the bus. Like, let's talk about it on our date.
Yes.
So then we went on our date. We were able to talk about it.
Yeah.
And we never
yes.
This
and
incident,
it softens the whole experience.
It softens
because I get to read it beforehand. I'm like, okay,
You're
I know what's
prepared for
coming.
the conversation.
I know what's coming. It's just,
I've already put it out there, so now I've got to tell you.
Yeah, now we got it. Yeah, it's
It's a game changer. It really is.
It is.
I mean, I just can't recommend it enough. I think if you can buy it as a wedding gift, gift it to your kids to support their marriages, buy it for your own marriage.
I mean, the reality is for how much it costs, you're probably going to spend that at Starbucks in 1 week.
Right. Well, probably not quite.
Maybe
but
2
yeah.
weeks.
Yeah. So that being said, it's $97 a month, which what does that come out to?
No, $97 for the year.
I'm sorry.
For the year.
$97 a year.
$2 a week.
$2 a week.
Yeah. It's basically how much is a Starbucks? So it's 20 Starbucks.
and that's $2 a week to really, really move the needle in your marriage forward. And I don't say that lightly. I mean that 100%. I'm telling you, this is the practice that changed our life.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you get it before the new year, now you get, you have a tool. You can kind of start using it. You can start dreaming.
You can really go into that.
Start creating the vision,
plan.
Start having the plan. And so, I think there's just a lot of good stuff that stem out of it. 100%.
Very good. So we really encourage you to do that. If you guys do set a goal and a vision for your family and you want to send it to us on Instagram and just let us know.
Tag us.
Tag us, DM it if you just want the accountability, but you want it to be private. We would love either way.
I know, that'd be cool.
It would be so cool. I would love to know kind of what people's goals and visions are. And
that'd be fantastic.
That'd be really neat. Anything else you wanted to add to this conversation?
I'll end with this one. Drift is automatic in marriage. Vision is intentional. Choose what kind of marriage you're building.
Love it.
Bam.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, so I'm excited, man. We got 2026, new year, new you, a lot of good stuff. And identity is king, man.
Identity is king.
Never forget it.
Changing behavior doesn't do it. You got to change the I am statement.
Behavior change does not last.
Yep.
So, no, I'm excited.
All right.
Thanks, babes.
Thanks, babe. Love you.
Love you.